Yeah, I mean, we made we made a mistake on the bases. That likely cost us some runs. And yeah, when it's this close and it's tough to score, those things tend to come back to hurt you.
What did you see happen on that play between? It looked like Pete was slowing down.
Yeah, I think Pete was slowing down. Q had him still going. He didn't see him slowing down, and then Pete picked him up, and then Pete started going and Pete slipped. So Q's. It was a really weird play from that perspective, and probably if Q could do it over, I think he'd probably just try to keep his eyes on Pete a little bit. In addition, he's trying to keep his eye. You got to keep your eyes on both people, but he thought there was maybe a chance to score him if Pete's coming, and Pete saw it the other way, right? Yeah. Yeah, I mean they even early in the game, the first couple innings, they made some. I counted 5 really nice defensive plays that they made to turn balls into outs, really. So credit to them for that. They're good pitcher on the mound, and you make 5 really good plays. That's going to be tough.
Did you think Sayers was out, or at least off the wall? Was your experience that one?
I thought he hit it good. Really high. The ball felt like it carried a lot, and the guy made a great play.
What do you think of just the way Ben was kind of up to the challenge today?
Yeah, I mean, the last 2 starts we've gotten the great Ben Brown, and that's a great sign for us and a big step for us, and a big boost of confidence for Ben. So, he and a credit to him, right? Things had kind of gone off the rails a little bit for 3 or 4 starts, and he's come back and I think arguably delivered his best 2 of the year. So really happy about that, and happy for Ben there. Yeah, I mean, this was a good baseball game. I think, if anything, it kind of highlights a lot of the stuff we've been doing to win baseball games, right? And how hard it is to win games, and that you got to play really good baseball to win major league games. But you throw that in, and then them making some plays, and you kind of hat tip them. They beat us tonight.
Your view of that play that bounced that ball that grounded that bounced off Shaw's glove, it looked like maybe.
Yeah, that's the. Yeah, I mean, he doesn't have eyes behind him, and that's the tough play for a third baseman. That one where you're cutting off the shortstop. We got 3 hitters to get out still.
Playing in freedom for sure, that helps. It's the number one. Just go out there and understand my identity. But we've been working on a lot of really cool stuff on the mental side, and having an extra week to double down on it, it's really cool. So I'm just going to continue to do that.
Also, you just enjoy the challenge of knowing. I mean, you're not going against her,
yeah,
but just to know that he is on the other side and kind of really do up on the game on every.
Yeah, it's super cool. That's what you kind of grow up dreaming about, and going up against another ace or whatever, and being able to do that's really awesome, and just keeping the team in the ball game. But ultimately, I made some mistakes when we lost, and got to regroup, understand what I did wrong, and get out there in a couple more days. So.
It's interesting that your velocity has been rising, and to you the hardest pitch of your MLB career tonight. Any explanation for that? Why is that?
Yeah, I think I'm just getting closer to where I was last year. I feel good. On the same side, working on mechanical stuff as well. It's not like it's just the mental game. We're just getting better, and kudos to the trainers, coaches here that are kind of keeping me in good shape and getting me, primed to go out there and pitch every couple of days. So.
On the mental side, what were you most proud of that you did today?
The 2 balls at the first, and then throwing a strike on the 3rd pitch. So yeah, we'll keep it simple. I'm happy about how I threw a strike and didn't walk the first guy.
What did you do with the environment here? Both teams are playing really well, and this place was packed.
Yeah.
Was there kind of like a
Yeah, I think that was definitely the most high leverage intense game I've ever pitched in my life. So yeah, that was electric. There's tons of fans. They loved it. They were into every pitch. Obviously, when school ball's pitching, it's a different monster too. So yeah, that was. I don't know. I've never been in the playoffs before, but I can't imagine it feeling much different than that.
The opener team last week, in hindsight, really helped you out to get through the first game today.
Yeah, I mean, just understanding that it doesn't matter. You know what I mean? It just like it didn't. I don't need to have a perfect start lined up in order to succeed. So understanding your approach out of the bullpen as with an opener, just going out there and filling out the zone. So being able to do that's pretty cool.
I mean, ball down the line. Play was in front of me for a long time, so yeah, picked up Q when I thought when the ball was behind me, and if anything, like we were on the exact same page the whole time. So no, I just saw Riley, get that before I got to the track, and they made a good play.
Just in a game like this between two first-place teams, the electricity in the stadium, like, how do you absorb that and, like, where you guys are at this point in the season? That makes sense. Just
Well, we play at Wrigley Field every day, too, so electricity is something that we're very used to. But people are going to show up to go watch one of the better pitchers in baseball throw against one of the better teams in baseball, so it'll just make sense. I mean, he did what it looks like he's been doing all year. But it was a really good baseball game on both sides for the most part. I mean, you had both guys going to the seventh. And then, Vest did a good job finishing off for them going out there for two. And 3-1 with a lot of chances on both sides. Like, that's a good baseball game for everybody watching.
What stood out to you about Ben Brown his last two appearances?
He's looked exactly like I've seen him look a lot of times before. I mean, we've all been there to remind him or just let him know that he has some of the best stuff in baseball when he knows that. And, I mean, he showed that today. Yeah, he pitched phenomenally. It's not easy going up against a home crowd like that either, or I guess a road crowd. So, no, Ben has looked phenomenal his last two outings. I mean, he's thrown 13, 14. Great.
Coach gets a lot of heat when a play like that happens, but you know pretty well. How did you talk to him about that afterwards?
No, we still had a game going on. I'd rather my coach be aggressive than not. So,
You had no problem with it.
like I said, play was behind me, so I didn't really know what was going on. So I put my trust in him, and I'll do it the rest of the year as well as we go.